What's up, traders? Welcome to another C-Space trading video. As always, welcome my subscribers. And if you are a subscriber or you want to subscribe, go ahead and check out the new platform I set up on Facebook, C-Space Trading Communities. It's a page I set up just a few days ago, so it's still early, still getting going out. But what I want to do is just bring community for new traders and expert traders, pro traders who's been doing it for a while. A good area we all can kind of come to without all this spam. That's a big issue with pages these days. It's always filled with people trying to sell you something. No one's trying to sell you something here. We just all want to come and learn together and figure out this market, discuss strategies, discuss different trades or different stocks you're looking at. So check that link out in the description of this video below and go and like that page to follow us on Facebook. So guys, what I want to do here is do a quick tutorial on looking at support and resistance. That's a big thing when you're trading, is trying to never get in too high, don't go chasing, and just try to find that area of support so you can get in that area, and then you can kind of set your stop loss below that support for a so if it does fall, you can get out on minimum losses. However, you're in a good area for a percentage, a high percentage chance of it going up. So I just want to go in here, Tesla. I've got the weekly charts pulled up because I like to look at things, especially for the long term on the weekly. It's a lot clearer to see good areas of support and resistance, and then you can kind of drill in daily and then even hourly to see where you could get some pullbacks depending on your trade. If you're day trading, you may want to look at down to the minute, 5-minute, 15-minute charts. If you're swing trading, you might want to look at the 15-minute, the hourly, the daily. And the weekly definitely is for more of a long-term trade, but it's just a good area to kind of clean things up a little bit and look. And I've already got some lines drawn in here because I keep an eye on Tesla, and anytime I can see where it gets into a certain area of support, I might make a swing trade on it to see if I can't get it on a bounce. So what you're looking for when you're doing these, when you're looking at support and resistance, is just different pivot points. And a pivot point basically is where the chart turn back and either makes a reverse movement. It could go higher, it could go lower. And they're very easy to spot as they're basically sitting all along. Like here is a pivot point. It's been in a downtrend. This is a small pivot point, but like I said, it's basically in the same area. So here's a pivot point where it reversed and went up. Here's a pivot point where it was falling, hit the 200 week moving average here and reversed. Here's a pivot point here, pivot point, pivot point. So you've got it. Top, here's a pivot point, pivot point, pivot point. So just kind of going through that. So look for your pivot points. When you set these up, look for where there's the most areas at. So if I had a horizontal line here, old level of support from a few years ago is this area in here, and you can click here, you can click here. What I like to do is just try to get it, and don't worry about these outliers. You say it went lower here, it doesn't have to be all the way down here, because you're going to have these occasional outliers. Like here, it blew right through that until it hit this level of hit this line here at 200 weekly moving average. So don't worry about the outliers, and also keep in mind all traders are going to put it differently. Like here I got it on 180, 180. I would probably look more around that support around 180. I like those even numbers, like 180, 185, 190. But since it's 181, I'd probably look around 180. If you plan on swing trading it, you could be looking anywhere between 180 and 185. So you just got to keep that in mind. And same thing for looking at a level of resistance, which I'll come up here a little bit newer, or something a little closer to where we're at now, and just kind of see where this level of resistance is. Of course, the great high level resistance is at your all-time high. An all-time high is always going to be resistance. As you see, it came here, fell down, it tried again, and we've touched it here for a third time. So this 385 to 390 range, well, actually I think it's 390, it's went above it, but this 380, 385 range, you're always going to see a pullback. So this could be a time you want to go short if you think that it's going to turn around, but it's definitely not a time to go long until it goes over this and kind of consolidates and then continues to push through. So keep that in mind. A level of support here is these points here where you see these mini points where it kind of came down, and it's actually around this area of support now, around that 300 mark, 295 mark. So, and it actually just this past week it fell down pretty hard after a shooting star pattern here. It had a big pullback and it bounced right off this area of support, and now it's back up to 322.82. So that's just a good, that would have been a good time to, go long. No one can really tell where it's going to go now, but it does look like it has bounced and could possibly be going back up. So another thing to keep in mind when you're looking at these is keep an eye on old lines of resistance. So here you have where it went up and had some resistance, which was here as well and here. So that was an old line of resistance from back in 2017, but now it seems to be an area of support. That's actually pretty bullish because you're given that uptrend that you're setting higher lows and higher highs. But just also whenever you're doing these, look at past areas of resistance, and that could become an area of support. If it does, that's always a bullish sign this thing is in the upward, is heading north. So let's look at the daily. You'll see things kind of get a little more choppy, but you'll actually see more pivot points. So this used to be an old level of resistance, and now it is a pretty good level of support, and that's at 277. So if it got, and plus you can dial in a little bit. So actually down here is a decent level of at 289, but it's still in that 295 range. So if I was going to go long, I'll be looking anywhere between that 290, the 300 range, get in, and then see if you can't ride it back up to 325 or 350 or even possibly 380 on Tesla. So that is it on support and resistance. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you got any questions, hell, ask. I don't mind answering them. I may not have got to cover it all because you get in these videos and you start kind of talking, but if you see something that you have a question on, go ahead and ask below. And if you want to follow along, I post daily videos of technical analysis on different stocks like Facebook, like Alibaba, Amazon. Also, I check out the Dow and the S&P 500 just to kind of keep me aware about what the market's looking like and where it may be heading. So go ahead and give me a subscribe if you want to follow along. And if you do subscribe, definitely check out the new Facebook page I just got going. All this stuff's free. It's not about making a quick buck off you guys. It's about teaching. And also while I'm teaching you guys, I'm learning things as well. So this has been a plus for me. I appreciate the viewing. Like the video if you've got anything out of this. And I'll check with you guys later.